Hi, it's Ian here. Welcome to another 5-minute marketing tip. It's tip number 42. Who'd have believed it, eh? In this week's tip, we're going to look at how you can use your thank you page, so the page that new email subscribers get taken to when they've subscribed, and your welcome emails, so the initial sequence of emails they get when they first subscribed, how you can use those to turn cold new subscribers into warm prospects, warm relationships. So I'll see you after the break. Hi, welcome back. So first impressions count, and that's just as true online when people subscribe for your emails as it is when you meet people face to face. You want to make a great first impression when people first subscribe to your emails. Now, there's something I'd like to start off with before we jump into the details of what you should be doing, and it's something I call the paradox of readiness to buy. So you probably already know by now that when you first come into contact with people, and that could be face to face, could be people coming to your website, and it's also true for when people sign up to your emails, that the vast majority of people you come into contact with are not ready to buy when you first contact them. So when people first sign up for your emails, it may be 2% of people are ready to buy, maybe 5%, maybe 10%, but the majority are not ready to buy. They're interested in your lead magnet, they've got a problem they need solving, but they're not thinking about immediately hiring you or buying a product from you. So let's say, for the purposes of this example, that 5% of people are ready to buy when they first sign up. That means 95% are not ready to buy. So roughly 20 times as many people are not ready to buy when they first sign up as are ready to buy. Implication of that is you've got to nurture your relationship with those 95%. Nobody really can afford to throw away those 95% of people who could be great clients, people who are ready to buy because they were interested enough to sign up for your lead magnet and your emails. They're just not ready right now, either because the timing's not right, not a big enough of a problem for them yet, you haven't built up enough credibility and trust, they're maybe not interested in that particular offer, but they could be interested in something else. So you can't afford to throw away that 95%. You have to nurture and build your relationship with them. So you can't just fill the first few emails with sales pitches just for the 5%, because 20 times as many aren't ready right now, and you'll really put them off and you'll lose any chance of selling to them in the future. On the other hand, and here's where the paradox comes in, because most people know that. Most people know they need to build relationships for the future with the vast majority of people who aren't ready to buy. But if you think about it on a week-by-week basis, so let's say that 95% of people, it took them about 2 years to get ready to buy. I don't mean everyone takes about 2 years. I mean they're spread out over those 2 years. 2 years is 104 weeks. So roughly, it's just under 1% a week of that 95% will become ready to buy if they become ready evenly over that 2 years. So that means, although 95%, 20 times as many people aren't ready to buy as the people who are ready to buy when they first sign up, if you look at it on a week-by-week basis, the 5% of people who are ready to buy in week 1, that's over 5 times as many as the less than 1% of people who are ready to buy in any given other week over the next couple of years. So overall, more people not ready to buy, but on a week-by-week basis, that very first week where you send your welcome emails is the time at which the most people at any given time are ready to buy. So that's an opportunity you can't afford to give up. That means you've really got to balance 2 things in your thank you page and your welcome emails. You've got to have emails that are great and help the people who are ready to buy, the 5%, make that decision and buy from you, if you as many as you can. But you also need, for those promotional messages, not to put off the 95% who aren't ready to buy, and you need to nurture over a longer time period. Now, when people first sign up, I find there are 3 things, especially for people who are consultants, coaches, etc. I find there are 3 options to use on the thank you page and then in the follow-up emails. The first thing is that if you have a low-cost product that you can offer to people, then offer that on your thank you page. So don't waste the thank you page real estate by just saying, thanks for signing up, great to have you on board. Offer a low-cost product. So tell them, your lead magnets in the email will be with you shortly, and then offer them this low-cost product. You don't offer them a really high-cost product, because even the people who are ready to buy aren't going to be ready to buy a really expensive product or a really expensive service, because they don't really know you. They've only just signed up. But a decent percentage of them will be ready to buy a low-cost product when they first sign up, sometimes called a tripwire. And of course, once they've bought a low-cost product from you and they get great value from that, they get results from that, they're much more likely to buy your higher-cost products and services in future. Now, the second thing you can offer them is a free strategy session or free initial consultation. So that's particularly appropriate if you don't have any products you can sell. You just deliver services, coaching, consulting, that sort of stuff. Then why not on your thank you page have some text or video telling them what they would get from a free initial consultation or a free strategy session with you. Now, not many people will say yes to that because they'd have to spend 40 minutes, an hour with you, and they don't really know you yet. So it's perhaps a bit risky for them. They might worry that they might get sold to, but a certain percentage will say yes, and that could turn into a very high value sale if the strategy session goes well. You build a strong enough relationship. Third option is to offer a webinar. Now, this can be the best option. It's a lot more work because it means that once a week or once every couple of weeks you have to deliver a live webinar, or you have to pre-record and set up an automated webinar. But when people first sign up, on the thank you page you can offer them a webinar on the same topic, but of course going further, that they signed up for with the lead magnet. And the people who are ready to buy will want to sign up for that because they'll get even more in the area they were really interested in. But many of the people who aren't quite ready to buy but who are close will also sign up for that. They'll see the value they'll get from that. You then deliver the webinar, you give them an hour of great value, you build a lot of credibility in that webinar, you build trust and a relationship because they can hear you speaking, maybe even see you live. That means that at the end of the webinar, after an hour, the people who were ready to buy already, they'll definitely be ready to buy, and they'll be willing to buy a higher priced product than just the low cost one you might have sold them originally. And also, some of the people who weren't quite ready to buy will now have gone over the edge and they'll be ready to buy. So you will have a lot more hot prospects, as it were, and by the end of that webinar, you can then offer them a medium priced product, or you could offer them a strategy session or free initial consultation, and you'll get a lot more of those than you would if you just offer them cold, because you've built that relationship, you've built credibility and trust. So your thank you page can either offer a low cost product, free strategy session, or a free webinar, which then builds further trust and credibility, and then offers a medium priced product or a free initial consultation. Now, in your emails that follow that up, a couple of things you need to do. One is your first follow-up email, you must check to make sure they've downloaded your lead magnet, the free thing you offered when they signed up. You would be staggered if you looked at your stats, how many people will sign up for your free thing and then just not download it. And of course, if they don't download it, they don't go through it, they're not getting the value from it, you've missed out, and they've missed out on the value, you've missed out on the opportunity to really build a strong relationship with them. So you'll want to send out an email the next day, did you manage to download the report? If so, just email back and tell me yes. If not, then you can get it from here. So try and make sure they do actually download the thing they signed up for. From then on, you can I would repeat the offer for whatever it is you offered on the thank you page. So a webinar, free strategy session, or a low cost product. But because the people who are ready to buy and be the most interested in that are really just the 5%, I would wrap that offer in at least one content-rich email where you give them another great tip in the area of the lead magnet and logically leading on to the offer, be that a webinar, strategy session, or low-cost product. Give them a tip in that area, and then at the end of that tip, say, by the way, if you'd like to take this further and get the blah, 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 then you make the product offer or the webinar offer, etc. I think you can also do another kind of last chance one, put a time limit on it, give them 4 or 5 days from when they first sign up, and certainly I send a kind of last chance, hate to nag, but if you want to take advantage of this offer, then XYZ, you can go here to get it. I think by then, by giving them the lead magnet, the great tip, the checking up they've got the lead magnet, you should have given them enough value already that you can get away with a little slight nag in an email just to say that the offer's running out. Then from there on, of course, you just continue to do your normal newslettery type emails where you are adding value, you're giving them great material, and of course you're linking them to your offers as well. You're linking them to either products or services, strategy sessions, webinars that are going to lead to that. But as much as you can, deliver value in an email and then make an offer rather than it just being a pitchy email. In that way, you'll both maximize the opportunity with the 5% who are ready to buy, but still strengthen your relationship for the future with the 95% who aren't ready yet. So they will become clients in the future. That's it for this week. See you soon.